Hey, welcome to today's video. If you are new to cryptocurrency and you want to learn more, hit that subscribe button and press that bell button. We're talking about Ponzi schemes today in the news, plus token. We're going to go into it. We're going to also mention other ones to keep an eye on, possible scams that could be happening in the industry. You've got to do your research, you've got to understand the red flags, and as an investor, you do not want to put your money into these schemes. See you in a sec. Right, so hello, happy Friday. News yesterday broke. I'm a bit late, I know, but I wanted to cover this in more detail. Plus token, it's an interesting one. It was an obvious scam from the start. They were having fake screenshots of Nasdaq. I mentioned it a long time ago on my channel, and there's a link. I think it's this side that I need to point. I'm not sure, I should really work that out, but you need to look at that video because I explain it in more detail. The website's obviously been taken offline pretty much, so I can't really get much other details, but we're going to go over it anyway. So if you're new to the channel, welcome. I talk about cryptocurrencies if you're wondering, and I also talk about investments and all kinds of cool stuff in altcoins into actual decent things, not crap like this. If you want to win some Ethereum, hit the like button and press put a genuine comment. Press a comment and put a genuine comment, obviously, and I'll do a draw. But let's talk about this. So what this was, it was a wallet, right, that grew your cryptocurrency for you when you put it in. You had to pay a premium to get into this wallet, and you could also earn extra for recruiting people into it. It was a complete and utter Ponzi scheme, a pyramid scheme, whatever you want to call it, and it was unbelievably sophisticated in terms of how well it grew and how easily it fooled investors. Now, I teach cryptocurrency, right? So if you want to learn more, £5 in the bottom comment, you can start. You can learn about the basics of money, the basics of cryptocurrency. But my courses go on to scams and how to avoid them and how to actually physically get involved in the industry correctly. A lot of people get fooled due to the bubble of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. It's happened in 2017. It's happening again now. People want to make Bitcoin and they will literally do it any way they can. Recruiters will falsely advertise to you that you can grow your crypto without doing anything. Passive income. There's no such thing as passive income in retrospect terms when you are just starting out in cryptocurrency, especially if you are just jumping into a wallet. So let's talk about it a little bit more detail. So it all went a bit tits up a few weeks back, and you know, now we're starting to see that the dumpage is happening, that the big massive exchanges are starting to see the flow of these tokens that have been accumulated by the big people within it. So the Chinese police have been hunting down the core members and revealed that investors were scammed a whopping $3 billion, which is quite an extravagant amount of money. Along the addresses, one has attached investigated data from the security audit from Peak Shield that reveals a money flow from Plus Token's early wallets, or wallets from as early as July, and the data the sell-offs have started to begin. So we've had Bitrex, Huobi, and other little random places where it's probably been and distributed throughout all the elements. Now, sell-offs don't retrospect dump markets, they just kind of create different impulses on direction. The biggest problem we've got is tracing them. The good thing about most centralized exchanges are KYC, as much as it pains me to say that, because you can identify who is actually selling them and link them to the people. Make sense? So for me, I'm going to go over this a little bit more in another video about how to really identify who's selling coins, but for today, they know because it's obviously linked to people that they've already investigated. I've got a burp sitting somewhere, don't know why. More news about this as well. So alleged Bitcoin Ponzi scheme Plus Token could be liquidating billions of dollars in stolen crypto. This is more of an interesting post. This is quite an interesting little insight. These are the guys, these are obviously the people involved, and one female. But ultimately you've got the biggest problem with new people in the space. They will jump at anything, so it's a bit of a problem. Other things to mention now, obviously the money flow, knowing who it is, we have still got like for like issues of Plus Token in other companies, and I'm going to show you that now. But I want to just give you an insight on how to physically discover if things are dodgy. Is it financially sound? I.e., does it have elements of regulation? If you are officially investing your money into a wallet, you do not hold the asset if you are holding these sort of things. They are not yours. It's just a simple token that they use for their platform. But what they say, or demand they say, is simple. You will grow your Bitcoin or Ethereum or Litecoin or whatever if you put it in this wallet. You've got to pay extra to put it in this wallet, and if you recruit people, you will get extra too. So that's the problem. It's basically a Ponzi scheme. They are claiming that they are trading your money, which you no longer hold, i.e. your Bitcoin. If you put it into these wallets, you do not hold the private keys, i.e. it's like an exchange in retrospect, but they're growing it for you. As an investment, they should be regulated, because that's kind of how the world is. Even in cryptocurrency, if you are giving money to someone to grow it for you, they still need, you need to do your due diligence. You need to have a little look. You need to have a little, check to see if they're actually qualified. And this is just a company. You've never heard of them before. You've never actually physically heard of them before, other than someone on Facebook or a Facebook group. Scary. So the next one I want to talk about is Plus Token. Go away. That's probably a bot. So Plus Token is exactly the same, like for like. It's also got the same sort of name, the same sort of crappy website. Horrendous, right? I've spoken about this in more detail quite a lot on my Facebook and other places. I'll just mute my sound because that is annoying me. And I've obviously been watching Altcoin Buzz this morning because he's been talking about it. But I want to mention this because this is the same thing. It's all fabrication. It is developed using 4.0 blockchain technology. I can put my house on it that it is not, because all it is doing is using trading bots, essentially, or Ponzi scheme tactics. Basically, they use trading bots to kind of make it sound a bit more legit and more fancy. And what it is as simple as put your money in, put your Bitcoin in, you grow some extra Bitcoin. The CTO token, which has no use ever because it's not on any other exchange, you can't buy it, and you can't even see it in CoinMarketCap. Always a red flag if that happens. This is all bollocks. Absolute nonsense. You do not need this. It's rubbish. All kinds of rubbish waffle to fool the new people in the space. Now, if you're new, that is not to be patronising. It's just brute honesty. If you are new, you will be attracted to stuff like this. It's just shiny objects. It just happens. But this is why education is key. This arbitrage Jarvis bot is all rubbish. And I'm going to talk about arbitrage in a minute, because that has already fooled a lot of people in the market, and myself included. But ultimately, you need to be aware of what things are. And sometimes it takes you to kind of see a lot of these go up and then down to know, oh, similarities. So, other one to mention is Arbistar, which is unbelievably rubbish. Big shout out to all the Ponzi scheme leaders on my Facebook who will probably be watching this and thinking, you're a dick. But this is the same as Plus Token. It is using arbitrage to grow a sustained daily income return of investment of 0.8 to 1% per day to all of its members. Really? Come on. That is unsustainable, and it will go belly up. The same as Cloud Token, the same as all the other ones. If you don't know what arbitrage is, it's where you buy low on one exchange and you sell high on another one. Now, I've asked for about 6 months now for proof. Proof of the working, because it's a blockchain, guys. Remember, if you are sending your cryptocurrency to an exchange, it is on a hash. If you send it to another one, it is also on another one. You can be able to see, funny enough, A to B. Now, they can't prove that. All they've got is stuff in their back office giving them percentages. So until they can produce live their whole trading algorithm, their whole trading element of where they send Bitcoin to and from, it's a scam. And it probably will scam people. It's just one of those things. Apparently they've got offices in Tenerife. Apparently. Not that I know. But you know, I've been told that. And if I'm going to be absolutely honest with you, I would love to go to Tenerife and be able to meet these people and see exactly what they're doing. But at the same time, we just know it's going to be dodgy. Putting it out there. And we're going to talk finally about Can of Growth, or Can of Grow. This one is a new one on the block, and I'm going to mention it now. This looks dodgy as hell. Ownership of plants, and it's using blockchain technology apparently to grow certain types of plants that end up, you know, usually dodgy. So this has already been proven that it's a part of another network that also disappeared and vanished. And this is behind MLM, if you're wondering now. It's not the greatest website in the world, I'll be putting it out there. It's not always 100%, but it's good for investigations. And they've already advertising returns, which is never a good thing. And you've got to buy certain types of tokens which give you a profit share in a plant which is grown in certain places around the world. And there's a uni level, there's a referral plan. So anything with a uni level usually adds up a bit wrong. And usually anything that's a bit, you know, dodgy in terms of return of investment is usually quite, you know, interesting. So I would do some serious looking at this, because I think this is just a typical cryptocurrency style MLM, which will probably end up going tits up in the next couple of months, because the SEC is starting to clamp on things a bit quicker, I say that, than not. So when you look at past historic data of Ponzi schemes, you've got the likes of BitConnect was the biggest one, the one that caught a lot of people out. USI Tech was another. You had BitBT, you had I Sent a Robot, what else was there? There was loads. Recycle Bot. There was these are the ones I can think of on my Facebook, and this is what we're always getting touted, and this is the new one. This is the one that's like, oh, it's a hype at the moment. So be careful what you are doing. Now, I know this is supposed to be cryptocurrency news, but the news is simple. You're going to get scammed at some point if you're not careful. I don't invest in anything now, apart from my own elements of investing in tokens, essentially, my own method, my own strategy in buy low, sell high, the same as I do the same with property, the same as I do with stocks, the same as I do with any type of investment. I would not put myself ever in these shoes again, because it's not worth it. So that's today's video. Again, I want to mention this is going to cause a little bit of short-term pain if you are holding on to certain coins, and if you have been a victim of the likes of Plus Token or any other tokens like it. But I do think Cloud Token's the next one. I think there's other ones out there too, but I'm covering the big ones. Be careful, because if it looks too good to be true, it usually is. If you're generating a 1 or even less than 1% per day, and you know it's not on a blockchain, you know it's not staking, and you know it's not a masternode, it's like, oh, hold on a minute, that's a bit weird. So be careful, guys. So see you on Monday. Hope you have a good weekend. And yeah, I want to talk about some cool altcoins over the next week.